Back home to shed more light on the operations in Sinai, the comprehensive operations that is taking place in Egypt to fight terrorism. We are joined over the phone with the consultant of National Security Committee and Parliament member Mdحت الشريف. مساء الخير يا فندم.
Good evening to you all. I would like just to ask you on the military spokesman that announced about launching a comprehensive operation not just in the northern and central Sudan, but in the Nile Valley and the Delta. I would like to ask about the timing of such an operation, in particular that His Excellency Mr. President is to following it very closely about the operation. Let me just talk about the presence of such a terrorist elements on the lands of Sinai. These elements that have been funded by Daesh and some countries that adopted for spreading the chaos in several countries in the Middle East. And I personally am fully convinced that there are intelligence apparatus in different countries with supporting such a terrorist element aiming to toppling or involving some countries, among which is Egypt in the region, and for the observers in general that several of the neighboring countries to Egypt that are suffering currently from the ghost of division and the toppling of the countries and the anarchy in the ultimately what is being politically in the political science of the failed country. Such elements and intrusion in Sinai has started following the 25th of January revolution and in a period of the role of the Muslim Brotherhood, which is in fact was an clear passage of developing or employing terrorist elements in Egypt, on top of which mostly were in Sinai for their ambitions since long periods in reality. When we are talking about such an operation now, we are talking about we fighting terrorist elements and groups that were present before inside during the period of 21st of January till now, and as well as other elements that they were returned from zones that witnessed different organizations such as Daesh, and these elements were entering via the borders of the Sinai, supported and financed by different countries that are saying still about their movement within their countries, even though they were financed and supported logistically. I'd like to ask about the term of the Northern Sinai. Normally we heard about such operations and that we are not aware of. But not only in the northern and the central of Sinai, but I just mentioned in the hinterland or desert by the Nile Valley. That's why I'm concerned about the presence of terrorist groups and elements and their support, as I mentioned, from the intelligence apparatus of different countries that they are trying to topple the Egypt, even though the Egyptian people is confronting such acts that made these countries that in spreading mercenaries and employing mercenaries, whether they are carrying different foreign nationalities or Egyptians. Therefore, these elements were spread in several locations that we knew that we should expect a sort of stability, the presence of inhabitants that were provoking and the inhabitants and making such terrorist groups, and to be clarified that it is an operation of mobilizations by the whole state apparatus, not just the armed forces, and it was clearly mentioned by the statement that the armed forces and the Ministry of Interior were mobilized for such an operation, and it was very clear that it was assigned by His Excellency the President of the Republic, as well as the General Command of the armed forces, verbally and publicly within a conference that was held a few months ago, by ending all such practices on the land, in particular and primarily in Sinai, and then the rest of the inhabitant areas that is spread throughout the Republic. There was mobilizations, whether they are in the civil and the military sector, that we are experiencing very clearly that all the state apparatus are working in a form based on teamwork, very comprehensive militarily and civilians, to eradicate such hotbeds of terrorism, that we are not lacking training or arms or the ability of the Egyptian armies, all the strengths that is included in such an authority. Therefore, we were lacking a set of information, and the change on the Sinai land because of their presence and concentration. Therefore, there was a very accurate gathering of information that determined their locations, their hotbeds, and I expect with the continuation of such an operation, there will be a change of their positions of the armed forces to cut up the pivot of fleeing that they are used by these mercenaries funded by abroad to do such attacks based on their belief that they think. Thanks very much, you say, because of the time constraint.
And by this we come to the end of